All right, proportion. What is a proportion? This is a method of showing the relative comparison of two or more quantities. It is usually contain units. All right, so when we talk about proportion, it just is a method of showing relative comparison. Two things that are related, you compare them, and of course they are always contain unit. Unit means one. All right, look at this example. Three boys share 60 mangoes in the ratio 2:4:6. How many mangoes does each get? Okay, so now the ratio they give to us is this. So to get the sum of the ratio, we have 2 plus 4 plus 6, which is 12 parts. We are going to be dividing these 60 mangoes into 12 parts. So the first boy that has two, we get 2 over the total part that we are sharing this into over 12 times what we are sharing, which is 60 mangoes. You see, the ratio all over the total part we are sharing, which is 12, multiplied by 60, which is the mango we are sharing. So we discover that 2 times 60 is 120, divided by 12, it will give you 10. So the first boy will get 10 mangoes. Second boy will get 4 over 12 times 60. Why is it 4? Because the second boy has a ratio of 4. So 4 over the total part we are sharing into times the number of mangoes. 4 times 60 divided by 12 will give us 20 mangoes. All right, so the third boy gets 6 over 12 times 60. 6 over 12 times 60 will give us 30. 6 over 12 times 60 will give us 30 mangoes. So this is what they will get each: 10, 20, and 30. All right, now we have example 2. If 7 cups of beans cost 65.1 naira, 10 naira, find the cost of 26 cups. Now, if 7 cups will cost this kind of money, what is going to be the cost of 26 cups? All right, this is just like a practical question. Now, the cost of 1 cup, we need to find the cost of 1 cup first. If 7 cups of beans cost this, one of it will cost what? By the time you know the price of one, you can now know how many of them will be 26. How much 26 cups will cost. So to find the cost of 1 cup is going to be the cost of 7 cups divided by the seven cup. This is the cost of the 7 cups all over the number of the cup, which is 7. By the time you divide the cost by the number of the cost, you have 9.30 naira. So each cup will cost 9.30 naira. So therefore, the cost of 26 cups will be equals to the price of 1 cup times the number of the 20, which is 26. 9.30 times 26 will give us 241.80 naira. Or you can choose another method of solving this. Let the cost of 26 cup be x. We don't know it. It's what we are looking for. So comparing the ratio of quantity and price. So you discover that the 7 cups, 7 cups to ratio 26 cups. The 7 cup will cost 65.10, and then the 26 cup will cost x because we don't know it. So you see, we have formed them in form of ratio. If you are not conversant with ratio, I've done video on that. You can go and watch it. All right, so 7 ratio 26 is the same thing as 7 over 26 equals to 65.10 ratio x is the same as 65.10 all over x. So you cross your multiply, do your cross multiplication. 7 times s is 7s. Then 26 times 65.10 will give us um 1692.6. So we divide both sides by the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x is 7. Remember, we are looking for x. So therefore, by the time we do this division, 7x is equals to 1692.6 or 0.6. So what we have here, so you divide by 7 by 7. 7 will cancel 7. You are left with only x. So x will be equals to 1692.6 all over 7 will give us 241.80 naira. So 26 cups will cost this. All right, so forms of proportion. Proportion have different form. We have simple or direct proportion. This compares two quantities such that when one increase or decrease, the other one also increase or decreases. This is a direct proportion. All right. So if one quantity increase, the other one will increase. If another quantity, if it decrease, other one will also decrease. So this is a direct or simple proportion. All right. So example: a car uses 172 liters of fuel for distance of 2,965 kilometers. How many liters of fuel will be needed for a distance of 500 kilometers? So this is a question, and it's all about traveling and distance cover for 2,965 kilometers. The fuel needed is 172 liters. So for a car to move this far, it will need this fuel to move in this distance. So if this fuel, if you want to put 1 liter, 1 liter cannot carry this. So you need 172 liters to go in this kilometer. All right. So if that is the case, if this kilometer, this distance can use this liter of fuel, then what of 1 kilometer? 1 kilometer out of it will use what? We use how many liter of fuel? So how do you know? How do you get that? The fuel needed will be, the fuel you use all over the distance you covered. This fuel is needed for this distance. So by the time you divide the fuel you use by the distance you cover, you will get the kilometer that 1 kilometer, what 1 kilometer, the number of fuel that 1 kilometer will need. So by the time you divide it, you have 0.058. You see, 0.0. So 1 kilometer will be using 0.058 liter of fuel. All right. So if we have known what 1 kilometer can consume, a liter that 1 kilometer will be needed to be covered, then what of 50 kilometer now? So 50 kilometer therefore the fuel needed is going to be 0.058 times 500 kilometer rather, 0.058 times 500. All right, so this is for 1 kilometer. So if it is 50, you use it to multiply by, if it is 500, you use it to multiply by 500 kilometer. So the fuel that will be needed for 500 kilometer will be 29 liter. All right, we have inverse proportion. This compares two quantities as well. It compares two quantities as well. So as one quantity increase, the other quantity decrease, and vice versa. You see, I have done video on variation too. You can search variation by Kenneth Michael. You will see this is similar. Both simple and direct and inverse proportion are similar to some type of variation. All right, look at this example. The erection of a tower take 24 men to complete in 15 days. How many days will 9 men take to erect the tower? When working at the same rate. So if people are working at the same rate and it took 24 men to complete and a building in 15 days. Now if they are working in the same rate what will 9 men, how many days will it take 9 men, all right, to finish up this kind of building? Okay, now let's look at it. Now we say that took 24 men took 15 days. If 24 men took 15 days, one man will take how many days? If it won't take 24 men 15 days, so one man will take that 24 times that 15, all right, and that will be 360 days, which is true. So if a man used, if 24 men take 15, if only one man is doing that work, it's going to be 24, what 24 people did in that 15 days, which is 360 days, it will take one man. So therefore, if you are now considering 9 men, 9 men now will take, you see, that 360 days that it will take one man divided by 9. If you divide it for 9 people, it will take them 40 days. You see, it's lesser. So you discover that if the number of men increase, the number of days that it will take them to also work will also would decrease. So increase in the men will lead to the decrease in the number of days they need to work, and that is the inverse interpretation of inverse proportion. All right, so the next one is complex proportion. Complex. All right, in this case, either of the two or more simple or inverse proportion are combined. See, we can combine simple or direct, and then inverse proportion. We can combine them here. All right, look at the question. If 14 men can cultivate 42 acres of land in 18 weeks, 14 men cultivate 42 acres of land in 18 weeks. How many weeks? How many weeks will 21 men working at the same rate take to cultivate 56 acres of land? Now look at it now. 14 men cultivate 42 acres in 18 weeks. So if 14 men did this work, one man will be what? One man will cultivate 1 acre in how many weeks? Now it's going to be 18 weeks. The 18 weeks that it took 14 men times, 14 men all over the acres they cultivated, which is 42. So the weeks multiplied by the men and then the acres they cultivated, you get 6 weeks. So therefore, one man will cultivate 1 acre, in 6 weeks. So if therefore 21 men will cultivate 56 acres in how many weeks? That is what we want to find out. All right, so it's going to be 56 acres times 6 weeks that it will take one man divided by the number of 21 men. So 56 times 6 is 336 all over 21. By the time you divide 336 by 21, you get 16 weeks. So it will take 16 weeks for 21 men to cultivate 56 acres of land. All right, now we have